Thank you very much. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are. It was an honor to be a mentor in the Icare mini project. I was supporting a project called Light Up a Village, Magbenty Village in Sierra Leone. Could you move to the next slide, please? And so in this short presentation, I'll briefly tell you about the project. What were we doing? Why did we embark on it? We're also going to give you a sneak peek of what approaches did we take, what was the impact. I'm going to speak about the mentorship journey because we had a really rich experience and we'd love to share that. And we also want to about what's next. And then you can see the two of us. So my mentee there is Ishmael. He has a degree in social development and he works with NGOs. And this project was based off in a community in a very exciting part of Sierra Leone in the southern province, Muyumba district. And one of the things that we noted from the 2021 mid-census was that this village has about 600 inhabitants, and most of them are children. However, the education outcomes of the children in this particular village is much more poorer than those in the surrounding villages. And one of the reasons for this is that they lack the right lighting solutions in there. That means the kids don't have time to work on homework in the evenings, neither do the village members get time to come together. Businesses have to shut down very early once it gets down there. And so one of our objectives for the project was to really solve the dire need of the lighting solutions in this particular village. We want Sierra Leone government is doing a fantastic job in the electrification process. However, the penetration of lighting solutions in Sierra Leone is only 26% in the urban areas and only 6% in the rural area. And the government really focuses on lighting up mainly the healthcare centers, and we need more holistic solutions to take care of the social well-being and economic well-being of the villages. And so our solution was aiming to light up the households, the community center, the school, and the water well in this particular village. And what we envisioned as the impact of the project is that the children would perform much better because they now be able to study after dark. We also saw that there would be better water safety in Magbenty Village because now their water well would be connected to pumping. And so the villagers would not have to spend time on water course or fetching water and the likes. And we also saw that through the access of the electricity through the village, they would be able to have better social life, come together and continue running their businesses. And we saw an opportunity to be able to create jobs through this particular project by making sure that the youth in the village could be upskilled with the technical skills. And so our project was quite ambitious. We're covering about 6 SDGs for this particular project. And the first thing was the SDG on education. We needed to ensure students can study after dark. The second thing was being able to support water treatment and pumping so that the villagers have access to clean water and safe drinking water. And then the next thing is affordable and clean energy. We know that solar grids are a cleaner energy source and more affordable, and we needed that a sustainable solution for the village. We also saw that the lighting solution would enable the businesses to operate even in after dark hours, and we'd be able to enroll the youth in some technical training to support the maintenance of these mini grids in the village and therefore create more sustainable solutions there. We also saw that we'd reduce the inequalities. We've already spoken about the fact that the children were already performing much worse in school, and also that their businesses are not running for a longer duration. So just to give you a little bit of a background, this village economic activities mainly involve farming and fishing, and these are not things that really they take time even after dark hours. And so it's important for the community members to have the lighting solution that allows you doing this kind of things. And lastly, we saw that we'd have a sustainable city and a community through access to electricity. And so we undertook a set of activities, and our 5 main activities for this project were the first thing that we did in time, making a holistic project plan, designed a concept note. What are we really trying to solve? What's the data that supports this? And we're able to gather we're able to do desk review, we're able to collect data, we're able to develop a work plan, a budget, and tools for tracking everything that we were doing. Then secondly, we had to engage certain stakeholders, and we were lucky in that at least one solar vendor who agreed to conduct the site readiness and assessment. I'm going to point out to you that from the capital of Sierra Leone, the trip to this village is more than 200 kilometers, and it takes 2.5 hours to get there by road because the road network is not really that great. And so many solar vendors were not willing to undertake this journey with us, but we were lucky enough to have a solar vendor called Go Green conduct this assessment, and they gave us a technical report, and they gave us the cost of installation for the solar mini grids for this village. The next thing that we did is, now that we had this data, now that we knew the numbers, we had to engage the community because we needed their consent, we needed their buy-in, and we needed them to commit to even paying for the maintenance cost post the installation. And it was such an inspiring and support also the personnel side of the project. This project cost was coming to over 520,000 USD, which realistically is a lot of money to raise and cannot be done in one go. And so while we are appreciative of the fact that it would have taken us just under 2 weeks to be able to install the solar mini grids in the village, it's just 42 households and all the other amenities that I've spoken about. That kind of money is not easy to come across. And so part of what we did is we set up a landing page. We also set up tools like PayPal where we could get donations and tools, and we're going to share that towards the end of our presentation. And also we started thinking about how do we mobilize resources? How do we get beyond the funds? How do we get things like technical assistance? How do we call upon people with skills, knowledge, and the networks, because this will require a lot of partnerships and a lot of stakeholder engagement. How do we mobilize these resources? And then throughout the project, we made sure to continuously monitor and track the project activity. So we had an activity log, and we also had a budget tracker, which helped us keep track of everything and see where we're going off and what we need to adjust. Next slide, please. Okay. So the main thing that we want to speak about, I've spoken about some of the project challenges, the poor road network, getting there took over 2.5 hours. The other thing was there was poor connectivity, yet this had to be handled from Freetown, and this Magbenty Village is more than 200 kilometers away. So it was challenging to get each other on phone. Secondly, it's also difficult to raise such a huge amount of money, yet this project needs to be sustainable, and we need to really think through. So aside from the project challenges, I do want to speak about our mentorship journey. I was lucky enough to have a very cooperative and a very talented mentee. Ishmael was really great and he came on board. So one of the things that we faced was our time differences. I'm based off in Nairobi, Kenya. Well, Ishmael is based off in Freetown, Sierra Leone. It's a whole 3-hour difference. And we had to work out how to communicate with each other, check in regularly with each other, knowing that both of us actually have full-time commitments elsewhere. So we reorganized our schedule and we set up a standing meeting every week. And in between, we could be able to communicate through other tools. We also had quite a bit of connectivity challenges, just pressing on beyond the road networks, even getting on calls with choppy connections and all that was really challenging. And so we had to get a bit more creative. Things like switching between Wi-Fi and data were really helpful to us, but more so was also using tools as simple as dropping a voice note on WhatsApp or uploading a document on Google Drive and tagging the other person really helped us continue to keep track. And that speaks to more of our collaboration and communication. Both of us quickly set out things. So one of the most interesting things that Ishmael said to me when we started this journey is he described himself as a person who works really hard, but chills even harder. And I found that very inspiring because most people say work hard and play harder, but for him he has a balanced personality to him. And so bringing that together, we did have to do a lot of creativity. We had to check on our experiences. I'm more on the programs and project management side, so I'm quite structured. Ishmael does better with the relationship side of things, and so all this brought better harmony in working together. We also had a bit of a late start at the beginning, and we had to quickly catch up because the project was only 2 months long, and so we needed to really make sure that we were vigilant about time. And so the collaboration tools like Google Drive really helped, sending in communication, setting regular check-in meetings also really helped us to keep on time and keep in touch. Also want to thank Icare so much because the resources that you shared with us, for example, preparing for fundraising, were really helpful. The mentorship framework was also quite helpful for us. Things like the reporting templates were also really important for us, and we were able to use those to make good progress through the project. So Magbenty Village is one of the smallest villages within the Raiba chiefdom in that area. You can imagine that Magbenty only has 42 households, which is equivalent to 600 inhabitants, but it is surrounded by about 16 other villages that look almost like it, and have 850 households. And even within that, there's a broader ecosystem that comprises of 140 villages. Now, depending on how this project is implemented, we have the potential and opportunity to impact over 67,000 lives with proper planning, proper fundraising, and proper support. So we want to thank Icare so much, and we are hoping to really leverage the Icare community here and the network and the resources that have been so generously shared. We've taken away so much from this particular meeting, including disaster preparedness. We've also taken about the responsibility to really think through business sustainability, not just building a social project. How do we make sure that this is sustainable? And on our part, we are happy to support and learn from the community. From the reports that were shared, we learned so much and admired so much, including the whole aspect of developing business models. So you can join us in Illuminating Lives in Magbenty Village. I want to share with all transparency that this is the landing page that we actually prepared and developed with Ishmael during this journey. It's actually live. So if you scan the code on your screen, it will take you to the reseller charity page. This is the NGO through which Ishmael set up himself and will be delivering this project. And so you can see there that we already have a spotlight on the Magbenty Village. And what it does is basically just opens up to a small report that speaks about this particular project. And then we have a form through which you can get involved. So if you would like to say, join us, give us technical support, give us some funds, you're welcome to do that. And you can also donate. So we already linked this to our PayPal, and we've already linked our contacts there. So the Facebook link works, the WhatsApp works. Thank you very much.